What is plagiarism? Okay, so academic writing, how to avoid plagiarizing. It's morning, you know, very important. Okay, because I think most people, most students plagiarize because they don't know how to not plagiarize. And once you learn how easy it is to avoid it, you can do it. Really? Dang it. Okay, let's find out. Okay, everybody should know what this means. Okay. I'll make a little short video just about plagiarism so everybody can see. But plagiarism is about writing and it's about stealing. Okay. And there are people I hear in your government, top people in the government, they did this thing. What is plagiarism on terrain? I guess I should help you. We should help each other. We should put it in the Quizlet. First one? Let's throw it in the Quizlet. I know it's reading, but whatever. Study sets. Gamma reading. Reading, writing. Let's make it reading, writing. It's too important to not have it. We have all these words. I still need to add words from last week. Plagiarism. I'm going to put the first one. Is that right? Okay. Know what this word means? Because I'm kind of serious about this stuff. I find it's easy for me to find as a teacher. And I will tell you, and you will do the assignment again. I always give students second chances. Okay. You guys deserve second chances. Everybody deserves a second chance. Okay, so plagiarism is the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own. Passing off as is like you pretend it's yours. Okay? The practice, the act, the doing of taking someone else's work or ideas and then passing them off as your own. You pretend passing off. You can pass off as you can try to dress up as somebody, like look like a celebrity, You can pass off as looking more something, using filters. But you can also practice, you can pass off taking someone's information and then saying that they are yours. Okay. And yeah, it's an ethical issue, it's a moral issue, it's an educational issue, And like we always say, when you cheat yourself. So I take this very seriously, guys. And I'm sorry you're in my class. But I do. And you'll thank me for it years from now. Plagiarism, what is it? We have a few more minutes. Let's watch this SNL skit. There's no subtitles. I don't know why. What is plagiarism? Yeah, just keep repeating that word to yourself as a mantra. What is plagiarism? What is plagiarism? What is plagiarism? Is when someone takes another person's words, ideas, image, or other works and presents it as their own. So it's not just for writing. Okay, you can plagiarize somebody's paintings. You just like copy. You can plagiarize like fashion. I mean, that's what like counterfeit clothes is. You wear the Nike shoes that are not your own. That's a form of plagiarism, right? You're stealing somebody's design. If you're copying it, they're stealing the logo. And it's okay. Sometimes people want to buy the latest things, but we always have to think about what that does. Why is something so important, like a brand, a fashion brand? Why is it so important that you would wear something that's not real, that's fake? right? Same thing with writing. Why is it so important? Or why is it, yeah, why isn't it more important that you write your own words and not steal somebody's work? So presenting as their own can mean anything from intentionally stealing someone's work. Okay, so you do this on purpose. You just know that you're doing it. Okay, but oftentimes, I think with students when they're learning how to write academic English, you just accidentally, okay, I understand. You just accidentally forget to tell your reader where you got your information or materials from. And this happens, okay? And it happens and it's okay. I'll tell you when it happens. I don't assume that you're trying to cheat, or I don't always assume that you're trying to cheat. So yeah, you can do this on purpose, which is severe, it's bad, or you can do it accidentally. It happens, I understand. In other words, if you talk about something you learned from a source, but you don't tell your reader who you learned it from, right? You got it from a book, a video. That's plagiarism. Plagiarism. Okay, plagiarism is a form of stealing. You are stealing someone's work, words, ideas, or words. In many countries, such as Canada, the United States, Australia, and the UK, plagiarism can lead to failing the assignment, failing the class, or getting kicked out of school. Yeah, I don't know if Ege University has a policy about that, but it should, especially if it's a final assignment or something like that. So, and yeah, sometimes people do it intentionally because they waited too long. They were procrastinating. You were waiting and putting off your work and waiting and delaying it. And then you have one day left, and then you just, you can't finish. And so you turn in something. I get that, I've never done that. Yeah. So, or getting kicked out of school. Don't do that. Don't ruin your education. And don't ruin your education by cheating, because, it doesn't help you. It doesn't make you a better student. It doesn't make you a smarter human being. Doesn't make you more successful. Plagiarizing at work, okay? If you work in a place where you have to write reports and you just steal the reports, or you have somebody else writing it for you. This is like the new thing. People in America, other developed countries, are paying people like in the Philippines, in India, to write or to do their work for them. And when their work finds out, they get fired. Okay, maybe you save some money. No, maybe you save some time. But you're not doing the work. So plagiarizing at work can lead to you getting fired. Okay, kicked out of school, getting fired. I know, I'm scaring you guys. It's on purpose. Hold on. Understanding plagiarism. Let's watch some videos about plagiarism. Yeah, this one's a good one. I like this website. I'll send you guys the link afterwards. I want to use YouTube on my thing, so
Worry you might be him? Then you should definitely keep watching. Hi, I'm Jessica from Scribber, here to help you achieve your academic goals. Plagiarism is when you use someone else's words or ideas without crediting the source and pass it as your own. It's okay to use others' words and ideas, but you have to cite them. Committing plagiarism might save you time for a short while, but it comes at a high price. Depending on your institution's rules and the type of plagiarism, you might fail your course or even get suspended or expelled from your university. And no one wants that, right? Let's talk about 5 types of plagiarism you might encounter. Although they differ in severity, it's still not acceptable to commit any kind of plagiarism. And plagiarism checkers like Turnitin can detect all of them very easily. Verbatim plagiarism, also known as copy and paste plagiarism, as its name suggests, is when you directly copy and paste text from a source
Verbatim.
without citing the author. If you
Word
want to
for
use an
word.
author's exact words, you need to quote the original source by putting it in quotation marks and include an in-text citation.
In-text citation.
Check out our video on how to quote. Imagine a patchwork. You take different pieces of cloth and make it into a whole. That's exactly what patchwork or mosaic plagiarism is.
Mosaic.
You copy phrases and ideas from different sources and put them together to create a new text. In order to piece the different texts together nicely, this kind of plagiarism often includes some paraphrasing. It also requires a little more effort than the rest. So if you're already putting in the effort anyways, might as well completely avoid it.
Wait.
If you need a little help on paraphrasing, it requires a little more effort than the
So yeah, this is what I use, not this one, but something similar. So when you write your essays, I just throw it in here and then it shows me where all the information came from. So if it's quoted, then it's like, oh, it's okay. But when it's not quoted, that means that you're just like borrowing somebody's words. And it tells me where it comes from. So 12% of this comes from this journal, all this information. Okay? This is what I see. I'm just letting you know. Be careful.
rest. So if you're already putting in the effort anyways, might as well completely avoid it. If you need a little help on paraphrasing, I got you. Click this video here. Paraphrasing plagiarism is the most common type of plagiarism, so pay extra attention. It's completely okay to paraphrase, but just because you rewrote it in your own words doesn't make the idea yours. So remember to give credit and cite the original source. Global plagiarism is when you take someone else's work entirely and use it as your own. That includes if you find a text online and submit it as your own, but also if you get someone to write your essay for you, like her. This is one of the most serious type of plagiarism, as it involves deliberately and directly lying about the authorship of a work. So don't even think about it. You can also commit plagiarism by reusing the work you've previously submitted. This is called self-plagiarism. So no turning in a paper you've already submitted for another class or recycling ideas developed from previous assignments. Just because it's your own work, it still counts as academic dishonesty because you've already gotten credit for the work. Woohoo! Now you're ready to move on to how to avoid plagiarism. Click this video here. But before you go, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. I'll see you there.
Subscribe. Anyways. Thank you, lady. That was nice. All right. Still going on with plagiarism. How do we prevent plagiarism? All right, we talked a little about it before, but how do we give credit to others? We use citations, okay? And that's the thing with the parentheses. It's so easy. You just say Pollen, Michael Pollen. Ah. If you don't put the year, it's fine as well. I don't really care. I do care, but I don't. Giving the name of the creator and the year of the text so our audience can find the original source you are talking about, okay? When you do that, I can do my reading. I can learn more. That's the whole point, right? You're taking someone's information, maybe it's like 20 pages, you're giving just like little parts, and then I become very interested in your writing, and I say, wow, that's amazing. I want to read more about this topic, you know? That's what a good writer does. Shares information, gives it to other people, makes other people interested in their interesting work. Okay, so there's two formats. We're going to just use APA. Okay, it's the most common one, especially in research with science, business fields. Okay, MLA, that's, I think it's from Chicago. Literature, arts field. We're not going to use this format. All you have to remember is this guy, you know, the last name of the author, parentheses, last name of the authors, comma, and then the year, parentheses, closing. So yeah, here's a direct quote from Tolkien himself. But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. Tolkien, 1955. Okay, so I looked that up. I'm going to find out what book it's from. I think it's from The Lord of the Rings. And then I can look this up if I want to make sure. Let's look it up. Because I'm curious now. It's been a long time since I made these things. It's Only a passing. Quotable quotes. Where is it from? But in the end, Frodo, I can't do this, Sam. Which book is it from? Lies. Frodo, Samwise, no. Is it from the movie? It's from J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm a bad teacher. Lord of the Rings. All right. Quotations. Using someone's original words. Okay, whenever you do this, the bunny ears. If you ever seen people talking like this, it means that they're borrowing someone's words. They're saying, "Well, stop eating, eat slowly." Then use quotation marks like this around all the words that come from the author. Okay. In J.R.R. Tolkien's book, The Lord of the Rings, 1954. 1954 or 1955. Says the inspirational words, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. Yes. This doesn't apply to hobbits. This applies to you, human beings. Okay? Quotation. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. Okay? We can watch movies all night. We can go out all night. Or we can sleep. All right, so you must mark when you're using the author's words with quotation marks. If you do not, you are telling your reader that these are your words, and that's plagiarism. That's stealing. Don't do it. I'm like scolding you like a mother or a school teacher. I won't scold you. Paraphrase. We just talked about this, talking about source ideas, but using your own words to do so. It's wonderful. This is the best. This is how you learn how to write. Take somebody else's great sentence, make it greater, more great. Make it great again. Must use citations, okay? So even if you use your own words, you still have to kind of say where you got the information from, especially with statistics and data, any of those numbers, years. Once you have that, I know you got that from somewhere, okay? You can't lie to me and say, blah, 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 60% of Americans like eat hamburgers every day. And then I say, where'd you get that from? And you're like, I don't know. Don't lie, don't lie to me. No. You got it from somewhere, it's obvious. So you have to tell me where you got it from, because you can't just say 60% of Americans. Sometimes you read these things, they don't tell you where it came from. That's bad. Okay. What's good is when you tell me what the information is and where you got it from. Good details, good citations. So must use citations to tell your audience where your ideas came from. Give credit, like credit cards, to the original creator. You don't have to give them money. See, you just give them credit. This is what I work for. Not for money, not for peanuts, but for credit. Okay, but do not use quotation marks when you paraphrase, right? It's not their words. So here, example, J.R.R. Tolkien, 1954, used characters such as orcs, hobbits, wizards, dwarves, and elves, creating a very diverse world. I'm letting you know which book I'm talking about. This is the first time somebody used these words. Not orc, not wizard, but orcs and hobbits, right? I think there's always been dwarves, elves, and wizards before J.R.R. Tolkien. But J.R.R. Tolkien came up with the orcs. That's his. 3 or more. Okay? 3 words or more. 3 words. Sorry. I'm always fixing things. That are the same as the original sentence. If you don't change it enough, it's still kind of plagiarism. That's okay, though. You get better. We all get better at writing. Change the word sentence structure or put in quotation marks. Okay, if it's too similar and you can't change it because it's like these Michael Pollan quotes that are too short. Um, you know, it's better to just quote something like this, right, than trying to rewrite something short. But if it's a good idea, if it's long sentence, you want to make it better, you want to make it fit into your essay better, you use the one word, you don't want to use it again, then you can rewrite it. And we call this paraphrase. Okay. So we have quotations, and then we have paraphrase. I'll do this for paraphrase. Lots of information. Hang on tight, guys. In-text citations. Okay. This is how we show the credit. So anytime you discuss someone else's ideas, use their words. Use anything that is not your own. Can be in the sentence or after the sentence in parentheses. Okay. Make it clear whose ideas you're using and where you got them from. Example, according to Smith, whoever Smith is an author, 2013. Citing sources is the best. Okay. If you use their name in the sentence, like according to, using these reporting phrases, blah, 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 believes, what else we can, blah, blah, Smith states that something, okay? I like this one because it starts a sentence really strong. According to somebody. According to Win, 2023, citing sources is the best. That's an opinion. This is a bad example. Citing sources is the best. Period. There's nothing else. Then you would put the citation like that. Parentheses, Smith, 2013. Just look at it, memorize it. Okay, so if you use the author's name in your sentence, just put the year. Okay, if you don't use the author's name in the sentence, when you're paraphrasing, this is paraphrasing, then at the end of the sentence, put the last name and then 2013, whatever the year, in the parentheses. This is our symbol for parentheses. This is quotation. This is paraphrase. Okay, this is called a total physical response. I'll say, "What's a quotation?" You guys do this. I say, "What's a paraphrase? What's a citation?" Right? Examples of in-text citations. Okay, so here's another author, Conley. Okay, we use this in the sentence. This is the subject of the sentence. We're indirectly quoting them, right? So this is not direct. Direct means with the quotation marks. Conley, 2018, discusses a time when his boss asked him a question that didn't make any sense to him because it was about technology. Okay, he's using an anecdote, a story. If I don't use the author's name, however, instead of quitting, he used this as motivation to work with his younger colleagues and learn from them. I didn't use his name in that. I said he, right? So now I have to use parentheses, author's name, and year. Let's look at that again. Burn it in your brain. Okay? If we use the author's name, we just put the year. If we don't use the author's name in the sentence, at the end of the sentence, we put where the information came from. So if it's J.R.R. Tolkien discusses blah, 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 we put the year. J.R.R. Tolkien, 1954, introduces orcs and hobbits to the world, right? But if we say something like, he, introduced orcs and hobbits to the world, at the end we would put J.R.R. or Tolkien only, last name, comma, 1954, parenthesis. You can make anything fun by just moving your hands. In-text citation practice, okay? Let's do this. Why not? I'm gonna send this over to you guys. Do I want to make a copy? Yeah. Let's make a copy. We'll call it Gamma. Gamma, 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 gamma. Writing. In-text practice. I'm going to share this with you guys. Jump into this. Gamma, 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 chameleon. Wait, I already did this. Silly teacher. What a silly teacher. This is a text. You guys can look at it. I did this. What a teacher. Ah, what a guy. Anyways, we'll just look at the example then. You guys can look at this. Examples are good too. All right, where do we need in-text citations? All these yellow places, okay? So these are the author's names. How do we know? We can go down to this thing that sometimes in the back of research papers, if you ever look at it, it's called references. It tells me what the author's name is, what the book is, where it's from. If it's a website, it's from this website. You can go to it. Conley, 2018. Why do I have to put November? Why did I put... Oh, because it's a TED Talk. So this guy talks what baby boomers can learn from millennials at work and vice versa. You can watch the YouTube. You know, why do I include this? Because if somebody wants to do more research, to read all of this, to verify, to check that I'm right and they're wrong, they can go to this. If they want more information about this TED Talk, if it's interesting to them, they can click on it and go, right? This is what we have our reference page. So we have Cole and we have Conley. And this is wrong, Mr. Bob. This should be in alphabetical order. You're a terrible teacher today. Anyways. So alphabetical order. C before K. I should fix this. But yeah, 2018. These are both from 2018. Okay. Awesome. Another similarity between Conley. So we're using his author's name in this. We want to put the year on it. Okay. And Cole. Also, again, we need the year. Is their attitude. Both authors are positive towards millennials and baby boomers. For example, Conley, we used his name, so we put the year only, discusses all the things he can learn from millennials. He gives specific examples of how well he works with his tech translator and how useful he feels giving advice to younger workers. Okay, here I did the paraphrase, right? This is where I did paraphrasing. Actually, all of it's where I did paraphrasing. Okay. The tech translator is a word that he used in there. Okay. Somebody who translates not English to Turkish or Turkish to English, but somebody who translates high technology to, low technology people. Similarly, Cole, 2018. I didn't put a direct quote. I'm sorry, guys. Discusses millennials in a positive light. He describes how millennials are making workplaces better because they are requesting better work-life balance, which makes life better for all employees. Okay, millennials, work-life balance. No, there's no such thing. Both authors are able to see the positive effects of generational differences. Okay, so this is a research paper. I think I wrote it for this class, another class. And yeah, we see examples of how you can use just the year when we have the author's name, right? We can see examples where if we don't use the author's name because we use he or something else, even if we said something like there are specific examples, right? Where the there is, where's there, right? But we know it's in Connolly, 2018. Same thing with this one. Here I use he again, so I didn't use the author's name in that quote. And this is not a good paragraph because it's just all, it's all quotes, right? I'm just trying to give examples. Both authors are able to see the positive effects of generational differences. Those are my own words, okay? You're not going to write a paragraph that just has like 20 quotes, okay? That's not a good sentence or paragraph. You want to quote and explain it, quote and then explain it, paraphrase, explain it, okay? You don't only just want to use the author's words, right? You have a voice. You want to use your voice. You're learning how to use your voice as a writer, okay? And if I wanted to look at these things, I can just go ahead, click on it. If it's on a piece of paper, I would search for it on Google. But why millennials are good for employee well-being. Let's look for that word tech translator. Is it there? What? Is it Cole that said tech translator? No, it's Conley. Whoops. Sorry. So yeah, if I wanted to read this as a teacher, I would read this. Whatever you use in your research, I will read it, guys. I love reading. I love reading articles. So I will find it, and I will make sure that all of it is there. I will be your worst teacher and your best teacher at the same time. Worst as in can't get it away from me. All right. I totally made a mistake with that. Let me see why. What is answer? Oh, I did it the opposite. Ah, Mr. Bob. Okay, I get what I did. Anyway, so here's the example without those things. I'll send this again. I'll make a new one. I'll write a new one for you guys. We can do this during the practice, the last part of the class. All right, so all of these things, great. If I lost you or you don't understand, there's a video you can watch after the class. Watch it all again, okay? Let's go again to Chrome so we can listen. So yeah, she's just going to explain those things that I
Hi,
just talked
I'm
about.
Jessica from Scribber, here to help you achieve your academic goals.
Hey, Jessica.
Pretty relatable, huh?
What is related?
So you know what...
When you're submitting an essay and waiting to see how much plagiarism Turn It In picks up on, okay? So Ege Ders has Turned It In, guys. It's a thing where I can put your essays in. So good question, Colin. Sorry, I just saw this. A proverb, anything that's like really well known, is okay. There's no author for it. It's not your words. We know this, What's a good proverb, like saying to kill two birds with one stone. Those are not your words, unless you say, like I said, to kill two birds with one stone, and you put your name, then you're stealing it, right? But things like that, anything that's a proverb, anything that's like a common phrase that we always say, and it has no author, it's just that everybody knows it, give me a proverb that you might use in an essay, Two heads are better than one, or something like that, right? You don't have to quote that. Nobody knows. Anybody else have a proverb? Type it in the chat box. Waiting. But yeah, sweating. So turn it in. Only the God lives time, mankind is there to die. Only the God lives forever, you mean? Only God. We don't have to. Yeah, okay. Let's try that. Only God. I think there's only one. Maybe. Lives forever. Human is there to die. Mankind is there to die. I guess you would use mankind. I don't like the word mankind anymore. You guys might know why. Lives the time. I would say lives forever, right? Oh, lives in time. Lives time. Give me the Turkish. Let's translate it. Yeah. You could say like only God lives forever. Man, humans will die. Something like that, right? Humans will die. It's the only truth in life. It's the most objective truth. I'm sorry if I ruined your day, but we'll all die. And that's why we try to enjoy our life as much as we can, and we learn as much as we can, and we learn about plagiarism. Let's go.
Pretty relatable, huh?
Pretty
So you know what plagiarism is. You also know the different types of plagiarism as well as the consequences. Then buckle up. In this video, I'll show you how to avoid plagiarism in 3 easy steps. But just in case you don't, no worries. Check out this video first. I'll wait. Step 1. Keep track of your sources. Sometimes you just simply forget where an idea is from. We get it. We're only human. That's why keeping track of the sources you use along your research is a great way to make sure that nothing slips through the cracks. We recommend compiling a list of citations as you are taking notes. This also allows you to easily go back and check where you found a phrase or idea to use in your paper. Step 2. Quote and paraphrase. When writing a paper, if you want to share an idea or a piece of information from a source, you must either paraphrase or quote the original text. To quote a text, enclose the quote in double quotation marks and include an in-text or footnote citation according to the citation style you're using.
Obama. See?
To paraphrase, you need to use your own words to explain an idea. You also need to include either an in-text citation or footnote citation. Check out these 2 videos to become an expert on quoting and paraphrasing. Step 3. Use a plagiarism checker. Most universities use plagiarism checkers like Turnitin to detect plagiarism in student papers. If you twitch upon hearing that name, you know what I'm talking about. Using a plagiarism checker before turning in your paper will help you to detect accidental plagiarism and understand plagiarism better. This way, you can make sure it's plagiarism-free. Speaking of which, Scribner's Plagiarism Checker uses a similar scholarly publication database as most unis and helped over 100.
Oops, that's enough.
Speaking of which,
all right, so there's these things called plagiarism checkers. I have one. We'll take a look at it later. Why am I talking about plagiarism? Because we'll just go quickly. References at the end. I'll make one for you. There's one page at the end of your essay. It'll have where your information comes from. If we use this video, world water crisis, that will be in the reference page. And it just goes reference, and then you put this information. How do you find this information? Oh my God, that's it. General format for online resources. You put the last name, first initial, so it would be Win, comma, B, period, then the year in parentheses, the title of the article, where it came from, and the website. Okay, that's just basic. You don't have to do this because we have an easy tool. Okay, start your reference with the word reference. Use a page break. Alphabetize everything. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the names in alphabetical order. The last name of the author. Italicize the title of the source. I guess I should show you what italicize means. Come on, Mr. Bob. Right? So the title of the source, that, the I button on your Google Docs. Don't put extra spaces between entries using hanging indent. Okay? That's a little difficult to get, but it should go down like this. I can show you how to do it. Practice with an article. Let's practice. Okay, so the author's name is Rebecca Ashey. The title name is Grades Should Be Abolished in College and University Courses. The source is study mode research, right? The date is 2007. Okay, this is the website. I'm not going to make you guys do this. All right, this is the format. Okay, so we're going to put Ashey, R, period, parentheses, 2007, in italics. Grades should be abolished in college and university courses. You don't need those quotations for that. The source, period, study mode research, period, and then that website, https, blah, 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 blah. See? references can be fun. So yeah, that's what it should look like. Okay. See that hanging? It hangs over a little bit. This is how I know when you're looking at it which ones are which, because they start getting too much. Your brain, we're visual people. I have to have this hanging paragraph thing. Whoops. Okay, and here's some other information, some web pages you guys can look at. I'll send you these links real quickly. How to do APA formatting. It's a good one. But let's look at the Scribber citation generator. I think that's it. Go back to Conley. Let's take a look at this guy. Okay. Oh, there it is. So we have this and we want to use it. We want to show a reference to this. It's really easy with this tool. Okay, so we go to the Scribber thing. We have a web page. Just copy and paste the address. Then press search. Okay, and it's gonna give us all this information. This is how smart it is. Okay, you press the cite button, and this is what your reference looks like. Okay, they put the, oh, they did. Okay, they put the date, the whole date. That's fine. You could just put 2018. Okay, and this is how you would use these little quotes. Okay, so when you're quoting, you just can copy this in. If it's in the parentheses at the end, okay, then it's like this. If the author's name is already in it, in the narrative, when you're typing, when you're writing, you just have to put the year next to him, right? So Cole says blah, 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 blah from this book, from this article. We can also like look up books. We can look up videos. Let's look up this video. Okay, let's say we use a video from YouTube and we want some information. So here it is. Okay, we press the cite button. Okay, this is the reference that you would have. It's called Scribber 2020, January 23rd. The title is What is Plagiarism? With this emoji. You don't have to include the emoji. And then it would say YouTube and then the link, right? The web link is YouTube, blah, 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 blah. You can copy this. You can add it to your document, your Word doc, whatever you're doing. Copy to the clipboard, whatever, okay? Here's the in-text citation. So when you're talking about Scribber, says, Scribber 2020, sorry, parentheses, 2020 says that, you know, there are 5 types of plagiarisms, including global, accidental, verbatim, where you copy word for word, blah, blah, blah. And when you use something like Scribber, you have an account, it'll save all of these for you so you can easily find them when you're doing your research. Perfect. I can show you something not so smart, but let's look at a book real quickly. Come on, books, open. There we go. So our book, Ready to Write 3. You can try to search by this title, Ready to Write 3. Let's try. Ready to Write 3. Is it going to work? There it is. See? If we want to use this information from this book for some reason in our, you know, in our thing. Oops. Delete. There's too many. Delete one. Okay. Then we have this thing. It's Blanchard K. Root. Okay. Let's look at our in-text citation. Oh, wait. I can just click on this. And this is what these would look like, right? Blanchard and Root. Okay. And we use the ampersand, that, you know, that thing that looks like an, I don't know, an and sign, ampersand. And when we're writing, we have to use and, A-N-D. So don't use this when you're writing your essays. Okay, this goes in the parenthetical part. Let's zoom it in so you guys can see. Boom. I'm gonna send you this link. Whoops. So yeah, play with it. If you have an article, expire in 30 days. I'm tired today, guys. Let's give you guys this in the chat. Okay, so this is Scribber's APA citation generator. Super easy way to get your references, to figure out what those citations are, if there's how many authors. And when you go into your master's programs, if you guys are thinking about doing something more with your education, you're going to have to learn all of these crazy rules. Or you could just have this machine, you know, have the machine help you. There you go. It's not important to memorize everything. We have tools for this, right? Okay. So yeah, that's plagiarism.